Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today, after the day job, I am off to check out the latest in the Indiana Jones franchise, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So, what is the story? Well, the best I can guess from the trailer, Indiana Jones's goddaughter shows up right after he decides that he is going to retire from being a professor. And so she comes and visits him during his retirement and talks him into going after yet another trinket that needs to be in a museum, the Dial of Destiny. And wouldn't you know it looks like some bad dudes are after that item also. So yeah, this looks like par the course for an Indiana Jones movie. It looks like, yep, Indiana Jones is off to find another relic that needs to be in a museum, and the goddamn Nazis show up to say, no, we need that to, I don't know what they're doing with it. I know there's Nazis in this movie. It's an Indiana Jones movie, even though it takes place in I think it takes place in the 60s or maybe the 50s or something. I don't know, honestly. I do not know. I have been trying not to spoil much on this film. I really want to be able to go into it pretty fresh. I'm not going to sit here and say that I was a fan of the previous one, Crystal Skull. I did not really enjoy that Indiana Jones film, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about the things that I disliked about that movie. I mean, we all know about the nuking the fridge, and the CGI monkeys, and the weird fight scene in the jungle. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and complain and talk about the things I disliked on the Crystal Skull. I feel that that's been covered over and over again on the YouTubes, so I'm not going to lower myself to that level. I just did, didn't I? Well, anyways, guys, enough of this jibber jabber. It is time for me to get out of here because I gotta get to the day job, and then I am off to check out the new movie, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Welcome back. Just getting home, and unfortunately, guys, this movie falls right into the okay category. Now, I said all I was hoping for was a little bit of fun, and you know what? I did have a little bit of fun, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough fun. It falls right into the okay amount of fun. Alright, so here we go, shall we? We're going to get things started with the negatives and end the video on the ever so important high note. We're going to end it with the positives. So the first negative that I want to talk about, and quite possibly the biggest negative because it literally ruined the film for me at least, and that is Act 3. The final act of this film, it just falls apart. It does not work. It doesn't fit Indiana Jones, and it seems extremely tropey and just a big fat cliche. I didn't like it. I was really kind of saddened because I wasn't like, wow, this is the most amazing Indiana Jones film I've ever seen. But I was enjoying it. I was having a good time, and then it just all fell apart. They just didn't stick the landing, and I don't want to give you details because I don't want to ruin it for you, and maybe some of you out there will like it, so we're just going to move on from that. Act 3 didn't do it for me at all. Another thing that didn't kind of set right with me, when you watch the original Indiana Jones film, every time, the old original trilogy, every time you watch it, it felt like Indiana Jones was inviting you on an adventure with him. He had himself, his companions, but Indiana Jones was the person who's like, all right, come on, guys, it's time for us to go do something. This movie, it felt like Indiana Jones, like, hitched a ride with another archaeologist group and then kind of whispered to us in the back, hey guys, come on, it's okay. We're cool. They're cool. Let's go. It just didn't feel like Indiana Jones was taking us on this grand adventure. It just felt like he was kind of like, I don't know, doing the whole, just like a museum tour or something. It just didn't feel right to me. Maybe it was, maybe the whole thing with Indiana Jones being an older man or something, maybe it didn't resonate well. Maybe seeing one of my cinematic heroes as an old man didn't work for me, but I really don't think that was honestly the big problem here. It just didn't feel like he was inviting us onto an adventure. It just felt like we were just watching it. And that's it, really. That was my problem with the movie. That's it. That's my negatives. Although, to me, they were two very big negatives. Moving on to the positives. The first act. The first part of this film, oh my god, it was awesome. The de-aging CGI that they used to make him look like young Indiana Jones again was amazing. And I was kind of like, are we just going to keep this ball rolling? Because I like where this is headed. This is cool. Because it felt and looked and seemed like a real Indiana Jones. Like, it was just like, oh, here we are. We're back in it again. This is a lot of fun. It didn't look silly. It didn't look goofy. It didn't look plastic. Maybe it was the theater I saw it in. I did not see it in a big IMAX or anything, quite a normal movie theater. So maybe I didn't see any of the flaws or anything like that. But it looked pretty dang good to me. That whole first part of it just, wow, it was like being back again. I'm not going to say it was like watching The Crusade or even, Temple of Doom. I love Temple of Doom, but it just felt more like Indiana Jones in that first part, and then it just kind of keeps trying to get back. Oh crap, sorry, I'm in the positives. So yes, opening sequence, outstanding. The action sequences in this movie are really good. I enjoyed them a lot. And one thing that I did enjoy, and I know I might have made it sound like I might be complaining about the age of Indy in these movies, but what I did like about the action was it did seem realistic for a man of his age. There were plenty of parts that he would get into, like in a situation where it's like, well, in his younger years, he could probably do a little juke or something to get himself out of there. And, he would try to, and then be like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm damn near 80 years old and you're 19. Okay, I'm caught. Take me away. So there were moments where things like that worked and it felt good. So the movie does have some fun in there. The beginning part of it is like, wow, I'm in it to win it. There's some great chase sequences. The action sequence in this film are filmed very well. There's great chase sequences. You do get to go, hopping off to several different areas of the world and all. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this that make it feel like an Indiana Jones movie, but unfortunately not enough to bring it all together for me to say that this is, here's the part. Now, do I think that this is something you should get out and see in theaters? So to be perfectly honest, with the character like Indiana Jones and just how important he is to pop culture, I'm not going to sit here and say don't see this movie in theaters. I think you should get out there, see this movie, make up your own mind. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm too nostalgic for the old 80s Indiana Jones. I don't know. But unfortunately, this movie just didn't do it to me. So, if you are a fan of Indiana Jones, you're probably going to go see this movie. So go out and give it a shot. Maybe you'll enjoy it more than me. And if you do, awesome. That is great. Please do. I hope you do. It's not like I want to see this movie fail. It's not like I think this movie was the worst thing I ever saw. But I just didn't jive with it as much as I wanted to. Well, okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. If you liked what you saw here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you could do, folks, that is keep watching movies. I'm gonna.